Um, our next speaker is the International Eco Schools Coordinator, Mr. Bernard Holland, who is an Australian citizen. He's an ex-teacher, a school principal, and an ex-education consultant. He now works for International Eco Schools. He is well equipped to do the job. He holds an MBA and also a master's in education. Now, just a little bit of background about eco schools. He will provide it to us, what the concept is and how they work and what they actually do. So it's over to you, Bernard. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and thank you for the invitation to join you today. Just quickly, there's two brochures down the front there. If you want to find out more, they're down there, booklets are down there for you. I guess before you look at an organisation, you've got to look at who its parents are. And FEE, which is the badge here, is the Foundation of Environmental Education, which is an organisation which is in 60 countries of the world. And it runs, it's an association also with partners in UNEP, with UNESCO and the World Tourism Organisation. And that's the spread. We're now in 5 continents around the world in different countries. Shame Australia's still not part of it, but I'm working on that one. I guess eco schools particularly fits in with the orchestra. We have 5 international programs: the certification of marinas and beaches through Blue Flag, a learning about forest program, which is another ESD program, Young Reporters for the Environment, which is about secondary school students reporting on environmental issues in their local area, publicising those and entering into an international photo competition, Green Key, certification of tourism sites, and last of all, eco schools. So my focus is about eco schools, ESD, and where it fits in with Earth Charter. And I picked up 2 words in particular here from Dr. Hirono about delivering the message. And I guess the theme that'll come through my little bit is about eco schools' capacity to deliver the message on Earth Charter and deliver the message on ESD. And the second point from Kartika was about the SARI. It's about personalisation. Eco schools is about a process which you can use in your country but adapt it to your own cultural specifications and educational specifications. I guess the important thing about eco schools is that we have the capacity to deliver things like Earth Charter through our programs. And I guess Charles mentioned it this morning, an arranged marriage may not be a bad thing in this situation because it'll work both ways, and I'll explore why. We have over 10 million students engaged with our programs, and that trickles down through local governments, which of course run many of our education programs, or run our schools, but it's also connected into teacher training as well. Most importantly, this is where our, I guess, synergies happen with ESD. It's student-led committees. It's about whole school action, not just one teacher, one class, about whole school action. So things that children learn in the classroom should be part of the curriculum, but also part of a whole school's development plan or renewal plan. So the whole school moves gently towards greater sustainability. It should be democratic in that it should be open, collaborative in nature, and dialogue between school admin, teachers and students, with as many projects as possible being led by students. And of course that depends on the age of the child as well. And most importantly, and I think this was mentioned yesterday by my colleague from Australia, it needs to be deep. It needs to be critically reflective. In Queensland, where I come from, there's a term called productive pedagogies, and one of the aspects of that is called deep reflection. It's only when you sit in the forest, you listen to it, you play in the dirt, you start to understand your connectedness with nature, which is something a lot of our children, particularly in Western society, are so far removed from. They need that time to bond with nature. It is situational. You need to make experiences lifelike and real life. So for instance, one of our corporate sponsors recently rewarded a school in Denmark who won the international competition for coming up with an environmentally friendly way to manage their energy in their school. So that they developed a whole process of auditing their school and placing in equipment to reduce energy and prove the case that it did work. Interestingly, the previous year, which I found was very innovative, was one by a school in Turkey. And I don't know about when you go to your hotel, you pop your key in like this. They developed a technology where the teacher arrived, unlocked the classroom, put this in the key slot, and all the power came on in the classroom. When the teacher left the classroom, the keys left and all the power went off. And that was developed in a classroom. A wonderful little technology, and that won the competition last year. So it's about situational learning. It's about action orientated. So actually engaging in real things that change people's lives. And for this, it was putting in a food program in a school in Africa. And it's about developing leadership capacity. This is something you won't see on our website. This is something I'm bringing to the organisation. I really believe about supporting the young leaders of tomorrow. And this is simply a parallel campaign in a school in South Africa, developing a World Cup. All the children were broken into football teams, but they actually competed in a clean-up instead. So Eco Schools and Earth Charter, where's the relationship? This was a Canon early today. I thought it was inappropriate, so I thought it turned into a reverse telescope. Earth Charter is a lens by which Eco Schools can look through, amongst many lenses. I come out of the Catholic education system. We had a theological lens from which we promoted ESD. But Earth Charter is a lens you can place into any telescope to produce wonderful themes and processes within ESD. But in reverse, ESD can be pushed through Earth Charter, and Eco Schools can deliver it because of its network of schools. It has the capacity to reach those over 10 million students through our network, a great mechanism. So as a collaborative tool, we come with a strong brand. It would be 3 to 5 emails a week that I would receive. How can we become an Eco School? And we go through the process of saying you need a national operator to sponsor you within your own country, so things are context driven within your country and things like that. And so we basically I guess using pull strategies. People are coming to us and seeking to join. But essentially what we do in this collaboration process is value add. We value add through a quality assurance process. And all it is a 7-step framework that is interpreted within the local culture, local education system, local political dynamics. We say it runs democratic processes. This is in China, it's in the UAE, it's in Japan. You have very different cultures in that area, but those schools still manage democratic teaching processes, perhaps not within the formal curriculum, as a Polish teacher was telling me, very formal curriculum, but they run it within their eco clubs, where it's far more engaging democratic processes. It's a change framework. It's changing the school over time, and it's about, most importantly, continuous improvement. That's a concept you would have in most of school development plans. Continuous improvement, whether it be educational outcomes or any other facet of their goals. It's an international network of teachers and students. It's about corporate partnerships. When you have a strong brand, you have corporates coming to you to say, can we partner you in order to deliver our message of corporate social responsibility, and you can deliver your message of Eco Schools. So it comes with it, that brand. So we at the moment have an arrangement with Toyota of Europe, and we have a HSBC, and we are about to take on a potential sponsor who will actually double our corporate sponsorship. And this goes out into the countries. The money doesn't stay in here, it goes out to schools. So it actually supports initiatives in schools. It's about international collaboration. This was a gathering in Malta 2 weeks ago. We are establishing an e-twinning portal. E-twinning is known in Europe for delivering collaboration across a closed network, a safe closed network between schools. Unfortunately, EU taxes don't spread beyond the EU, so we're trying to develop a portal which will go worldwide to deliver collaboration online between teachers, classrooms and students in a closed portal. That's something that Earth Charter and ourselves can work together with. And it's about international support. So we have our colleagues from South Africa here, Jim particularly, and they are working with other countries in South Africa who financially are not established enough or structured enough to be part of the larger Eco Schools network, but that doesn't mean it doesn't happen. There's some fantastic support going on in South Africa. This is obviously a Kenyan school here. But most importantly, and I'll ask my beautiful assistant to come up to the front. That one. Come around the front. and turn it up the other way. We offer a brand that schools want to see and want to be recognised. In Australia, we have wonderfully integrated government and educational processes in an Aussie and a Quessy in Queensland, but schools were saying to me when I was there, we don't feel recognised. This provides an internationally ISO 14001 tool of recognition. And that's a very, very simple thing. Now, I know you might go away and say, yes, Costa Rica has Blue Flag, which is a simple copying system of ours, and that's fine. And there's wonderful practices in everything I've heard in India, in other parts of the world. It's about collaboration and working together to see what we can do together. So thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, Bernard.